It's another wild day in the world of Magic the Gathering. Magic players are raging out over the Commander Secret Lair issues. On top of that, Wizards of the Coast just announced a brand new Secret Lair, and there's issues with that. And everybody who has Magic the Gathering online is being forced to uninstall it in a week.
Magic.
I am a wizard!
History.
I'm an old wizard!
The Magic Historian.
My bones hurt. Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. My friends, I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered for another installment of Mega Magic News. And once again, things are ridiculous in the world of Magic the Gathering. So, first thing I want to talk about is what's going on with MTGO. In a week, Wizards of the Coast is basically going, well, we're done with that forever, and handing it off to a completely different company. Right now, because of this transition, all MTGO players are being forced to uninstall their clients and reinstall brand new clients. They're upping the price on redemptions as well, in case you didn't know. So if you're not familiar with MTGO, what you can do is you can actually build up sets of cards and have them redeemed for physical cards. So you could actually go and get a complete set of one of every card from Dominaria United, and then you can redeem them from your digital account into physical cards. It's actually one of the neatest aspects of Magic the Gathering online. You can turn your digital assets into physical ones, right? You can't get that with Arena. Arena is a one-way street, but regardless, they're upping the prices. Now it's going to be $35 to redeem a set, plus $10 in shipping if you're domestic, and $35 if you're international. So that is headed upwards. And Wizards also said, if you've put in any kind of ticket for help when it comes to MTGO, once the transition happens on Tuesday, then you're done. So basically 1 week from the day the video comes out, if you've submitted a help ticket and haven't gotten help, you actually have to resubmit the ticket to the new company that is handling MTGO. So this is a crazy moment in Magic's history where MTGO is finally being shunted off by Wizards. The question is, how long will it actually survive under the management of other people? Will it thrive? I don't know. But one thing to bear in mind about those redemptions is they're way more limited now. So before, Wizards would sometimes print more if people wanted them. But basically what's going to happen going forwards is they're going to hand the company that makes this stuff, here's your redemption sets. And that's all they will have. So it's first come, first serve. Once the redemptions are gone, they're gone, right? Now, let's move on to talking about Secret Lair insanity. We're going to start by talking about the Commander deck that has everybody riled up. There has been a furor over the last 24 hours where people have had enough. They are clamoring around a post. Let me put an image up on the screen for you here so we can go through this. Now, understand, we are talking about a Secret Lair that is print to order that Wizards announced back in November, all right? November of 2021. Almost a full year ago. Nobody has got their product, right? These decks haven't made it out to the people. So somebody went ahead and compiled this handy dandy little list. Let's go through everything that's come out since then without that deck coming out. You've got Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, Streets of New Capenna, Battle for Baldur's Gate, Double Masters 2022, Dominaria United, Warhammer 40k, Unfinity, 7 sets, 5 with Commander decks. In total, 17 Commander decks. So Wizards of the Coast has managed to produce 17 Commander decks in this time span. Like, look at it. It's like clockwork. Kamigawa, February. 2 months later, Capenna. It's every 2 months or more recent, like a month or whatever else. Bang, here's something else. Bang, here's something else. So, people are raging, right? People want their money back. Some of them were charged right when that thing was announced because you can choose whether to let Wizards charge you right away or wait. Now, I gotta say, wait, friends. always wait. I suppose it is not fun to randomly get hit with the charge whenever they decide to ship it, and it might cause you issues, but it's better than giving Wizards $100 US as an interest-free loan for a year. Here you go. It's like a GIC, where instead of interest, I earn frustration. What a deal! Like, Wizards of the Coast actually sent out 2 collector boosters to everybody who ordered these decks as a way of saying, guys, we're sorry. We're sorry. But that only bought so much goodwill. And now the rage has exploded to the point where this is a flashpoint. People are losing it. And they have every right to be upset. Why isn't Wizards of the Coast delivering this product? Well, I suspect it actually boils down to the non-card aspects part of this, right? Because it is a 100-card commander deck, and we've seen they print a bunch of those. The only thing special about this commander deck, 95 cards are reprints, so 5 cards are new cards. And they're really not even new cards. They're just reprints with specific artwork. They're double-faced cards. So there's nothing there. It's not like there's some special tech that comes with the cards that has to be handled. But it was coming with a little coin flip. Obviously, it's a coin flip deck, right? It also comes with a life wheel and a deck box. And I'm imagining that they have had production issues with all 3 of those items. So it's like, oh, we got the deck box. We can't ship it out with the other 2 items. So they have to wait until they get every single piece of this and can ship it all together. And they're talking about now, they're saying, we project it's going to be fall, but every time you talk to them, they project whatever time frame. We project it's going to be not today, son. You know, it's like, I'll gladly take your money today for a secret layer. Never. It's like, thanks, Wimpy. You guys get Popeye's references? Am I dating myself enough with this stuff? Either way, people are raging, and rightfully so. This is a debacle. Wizards' inability to deliver commander decks, like, they delayed the Warhammer commander decks, but those came out, so most people aren't going to see the fact that this involves some random little plastic, basically garbage that most people aren't going to care about, that's not even going to get to them in any kind of timely manner. I'm sure if you said, hey, do you just want the cards? We could send those out now. People would be like, most of them, yeah, although a lot of people just want their money back. Anyhow, did you know they just announced a brand new secret layer today? Shall we take a look at it, look at the new cards, and then talk about the mistakes as well? Let's do it. Up on the screen, you are going to see if looks could kill. This is the newest secret layer. The concept is pretty straightforward. You got some fashionistas. You've got your fashion mavens bringing that style to the multiverse, right? So, we've got a killer lineup here. We've got Reflector Mage. Now, Reflector Mage is an incredibly obnoxious card. If you never faced off against this during the Oath of the Gatewatch days, this thing wasn't uncommon. And when I read it, I went, are you out of your minds? So, 1 blue, 1 white, and 1 gets you a 2-3, because yeah, why not give him 3 toughness on top of his incredibly annoying ability? When Reflector Mage enters the battlefield, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. That creature's owner can't cast spells with the same name as that creature until your next turn. That is an insanely powerful ability. The tempo stealing that you can do with this is absurd. This is such a good control card where it's like, oh, hey, that's a nice creature you have there. Put it out, and by the way, you're not allowed to play it next turn so that I'm ready with the mana to counter it the turn after. Oh, and did you have other copies of that card in your hand? Well, that's too bad. You can't cast those either. Like, this is such a bonkers power level, and they made it uncommon. It feels really powerful when you use this effect, and it feels really obnoxious to face off against this effect. Now, the flavor text says, dressed to suppress. Now that is actually incredible flavor text. For the concept of this secret lair, the high fashion ideas, like, all right, man, dressed to suppress because he suppresses your magic, your capabilities, that's awesome. And the artwork is absolutely wild, right? You've got this dude with 3 heads, his eyes are glowing, you've got this stuff spinning around his head like stars, he's got his coat kind of draped over one shoulder, he's got a ridiculous shirt with these crazy like fringe coming off it. It's like the old composers. That's what it kind of feels like. It's got that flowy, billowy kind of vibe. Out of his hand, magic is flowing, and he's just taking somebody's cat, and he's like, yo, bro, I'm getting your cat out of here. I'm dressed to suppress that cat, son. And I love the fact that also he's framed around this like door that looks like it's straight up a portal. That's how it appears to me, right? It looks like we've got a darkened sky here, a background of night, and he's portaled in from what might be a different dimension because it's all pink behind him, pink and cloudy. The cotton candy. Oh, you know what? The dimension that he's coming from, his clothes match where he's coming from. And that whole, holy abs, guys. Holy abs, am I right? You see, because there's a hole in there. You know what? Never mind. I just realized what the internet is going to do. Oh, Lord, no. Okay, I thought it was bad enough with Oko. They put a hole in this guy's abs. Okay, normally I say, tell me what you think in the comments. Everybody, keep your mouth shut today. I don't want to hear it, okay? We're moving on to the next card. I ain't even talking about this one anymore. Liliana of the Dark Realms. She doesn't have a hole in her chest, thankfully. 2 black and 2. 3 loyalty, legendary planeswalker. +1 loyalty, search your library for a swamp card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. -3, target creature gets +X/+X or -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of swamps you control. And -6, you get an emblem with swamps you control, have tap, add 4 black mana. So, heavy Lake of the Dead feels here, right? Because the Lake of the Dead does that massive mana blast. But overall, this is a funky concept for black in terms of most of the time. Black is going to be centered around creature destruction, and there is an element of that. But mostly, this is focused around land concepts, and that's actually something you normally associate with green. So this is almost like a color-shifted green planeswalker, but obviously, when you're dealing with the fact that it's getting swamps, it's black aligned, the fact that it gives -X/-X, but the +X/+X does have that green vibe. I like the fact that you can use death energy, necrotic energy to either infuse things to make them stronger or to weaken them. That's got a good vibe. And then just the idea of enhancing your swamps to the point where they're 4 times as powerful. That is very good. Now, in terms of the artwork, take a look at her. How fashionable is she? She's got that, like, I am too bored to even be here, staring at my nails, like, whatever. Check out my trendy coat, honey. And I got the serious headgear. And then you've got, like, the shadowy arms that are coming off of her back. And she's got the skull in one of them with that, it looks like magic essence, just smoke magic flowing right out of it. I don't know, man. The laissez-faire attitude that she has here with the whole shadow arms and everything, just the pose of her body, it's great. It totally does evoke the high fashion concept, right? And people are big fans of Liliana. Now, let's move on to Adaptive Automaton. 3 mana for a 2/2 construct artifact creature. As it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. It's the chosen creature type in addition to its other types, and other creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. So this is your multi-purpose, slap it into any tribal deck. Here's an extra lord who also counts as the type. And I mean, it honestly feels like something that planeswalkers would cobble together. Why not have a being that is artificial, that enhances all of what you want and can meld in with them? It's great, right? I mean, you imagine after they encounter something like shapeshifters, they're, what if I was to make my own sort of construct that could do that? I dig the vibe. The artwork has the same kind of high fashion feel. You've got like one of those big, is it a big puffy jacket or a big puffy dress and like striped ribbons and everything underneath? This one, because of the rings and everything around it, it makes it a little harder for me to parse out what's going on. It does look like this one is turning into a, is it a merfolk? I feel with the look of the skin, and it looks like there's some flaps at the top of the head there. So overall, it's got that merfolk kind of vibe. The flavor text says, always on trend. See that? This is fun. This is a fun but obviously strange concept, but that's where Secret Lair is supposed to live, right? So going, this is a fashion individual who's always doing what's trendy. Yo, is it trendy to be a merfolk right now? Legit. Oh, it's trendy to be a goblin? All right, I'll stink. No problem. Let's do it. That's a lot of fun. Now, the last one on our list here is Azami, Lady of Scrolls. 3 blue and 2 for a 0/2 legendary human wizard. Tap an untapped wizard you control, draw a card. This is a really strong ability. Just on her own, boom, 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 boom. She gives you a card every turn, and she doesn't care about summoning sickness, right? You can tap a wizard you just put out and draw a card off it straight out. So that is pretty nice. The flavor text says, fashion belongs to those with the luxuries of style and taste. I have both. I can dig it, man. I can dig a zombie coming in and being, yep, I'm a fashionista. What are you going to do about it? And I love all the scrolls that are flowing around her, the cherry blossom aspect, the big hat, all of it. The dress with the sash tied around it, the splash of color with that pink rope that ties it all off. This is appealing artwork. And she's framed by this, like, I assume window or door here. It looks great. These are some fun cards, man. But there definitely is a pretty big mistake on a couple of them that you may have noticed. Take a look at Reflector Mage. Why does it have the legendary frame? It is not a legend. Take a look at Liliana. Why does she not have the legendary frame? She is legendary. And Azami clearly shows us that they intended to use legendary frames on these cards. So, you somehow get a Reflector Mage that's legendary. Liliana the Veil is not. And as a fun little extra, the artist behind this secret lair, when someone asked him, hey, why does the Reflector Mage have a legendary frame? He said, because I'm legendary, right? Like, Jack Hughes, well done, buddy. That is a fun answer, all right? That's a good way to do things. Now, that wraps up all the news that's fit to hear today, at least on this channel, my friends. I have put out videos on my other channels, which I will link up on the screen for you right now to enjoy, all right? I just learned that the creator of the Genesis card game is actually an insane person, and I made a video about it. So if you want to hear about his insanity, you should go and check it out, because he's crazy, and his game is crazy. So click on that link and check it out. Big thank you to all my patrons. You are the best. And I will see you all, my friends, in the next video.